Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, August 31st, and this is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week at SEOroundtable.com. The first thing I want to talk about was that we possibly saw a possible, possibly maybe, Google algorithm update on August 28th. We posted about it on August 29th. Google has not yet replied to me. I think the Google search team is out on some type of event over the weekend, and they left this pretty much week. They do these trips to keep morale and all that type of stuff, and Anyway, I think there was an update. There are a lot of speculations and talk in Webmaster World and other forums about ranking changes, about huge crawl changes and stuff like that, which typically symbolizes some type of major update. Again, Google has not responded to me yet. I'll email them again. Usually they respond pretty quickly, but they are away. If you didn't notice any changes, a lot of people have. You can definitely comment at SEOroundtable.com on August 29th. Talking about a Google update, there are rumors of also a possible Bing search update. Typically SEOs don't follow Bing as closely. They don't notice the updates as well as they typically notice a Bing update. But there was a post yesterday, and I did notice some fluctuations in my own search rankings at Bing, or referrals from Bing over the past few days. So there possibly was a big update. I'm not sure. I posted about this morning, August 31st at SEOroundtable.com. Also, it's been a while since Matt Cutts and Google spoke about paid links and related to page rank penalties. There's obviously note out there that Google will go ahead and apply page rank penalties for anybody selling links, including my own website. That being said, it was interesting because on August 27th, we posted about it on August 28th, but on August 27th, both Matt Cutts and John Mueller, Googlers, went ahead and talked about it. Matt Cutts wrote a blog post about it, totally independent of what John Mueller did when we had a Google Hangout with John Mueller and some other SEOs out there that day as well. And I posted a video where John specifically talks about paid links, and I also put a link to Matt's post about paid links. So it's just interesting to see that Google hasn't really talked about page rank penalties for paid links in a long time, and yet both Matt Cutts and John went ahead and talked about it in one way or another. While we talked about last week that Google is testing, or not testing, but actually showing 7 results for certain types of search queries, Bing, on the other hand, is actually showing over 10. They're showing 13, 14, 15, 6, who knows? It doesn't make it, there's no actual logic behind it. We posted a thing on August 30th, yesterday, about how Bing is actually showing, if you click onto page 2, 3, 4, 5, they're showing random sets of search results. For example, I searched on wheat and I saw 16 through 30 results, so about 15 results there. Then I clicked forward and I saw a different set of results based on the query changes, which is pretty interesting. Bing, Microsoft representative sent us a statement saying that this was an experiment they were running for the past few months, and with the June update, they decided to actually go ahead and release it to the public. This is the first time people are actually noticing it for some reason and writing about it, but it basically changes by queries, and it's very interesting to see that Google's going to 7 while Bing is actually going to over 10. So, in August, early August, Google announced, August 10th, Google announced that they have a new ranking factor. It's part of the algorithm called where if you have a nice number of DMCA requests, I think a significant number of DMCA requests that are valid takedown requests, Google will go ahead and penalize your website. Not necessarily penalize, but it will take into account the lower the ranking of the website. It's an algorithm update. So people are saying, hey, DMCA requests, takedowns are huge, they're spiking up. But the reality is, Google, if you look at the Google Transparency Report, between August 13th and August 20th, there's actually less takedown requests from August 13th versus August 20th. And August 10th, Google announced it. So it's interesting to see there's actually less DMCA requests. Might be just some weirdness in the data, but it doesn't seem like there's any uptick in the DMCA request takedowns. Google has improved their Webmaster Tools report for site errors. Specifically, they're now showing a breakdown between the different types of categories of errors. So unreachables, lookup errors, DNS errors, different types of specific types of errors, so that Webmaster can actually see how the changes are between day to day and what type of errors and what errors they're actually getting. Just gives you another data point to actually look at when you're trying to diagnose issues with your website. Google said that subdomains versus subdirectories are exactly the same thing when you're trying to go ahead and do geo-specific types of landing pages. So if you want to do like I don't know, for example. So for example, let's say it's a Israeli domain, and typically you would have it on domain.co.il, but if you can't do that and you want to put it on your own domain name, some people might do israel.domain.org.com or hebrew.domain.com, or it doesn't make a difference if you just went www.domain.com/Hebrew or /Israel. Google says the subdomain versus a subdirectory are pretty much the same things in terms of handling geo-specific related content or language-based specific content. Dimas, it's been several years, I think 4.5 years since we actually asked, does Dimas, a link from the Open Directory project, have any value for SEOs? We talked about the Yahoo one recently, I think. Over 4.5 years ago, we posted a poll, and basically SEOs are split. Yes, it has value. No, it doesn't have value. A Webmaster World member went ahead and posted saying he got his link finally, and it made zero difference to his Google ranking. So he's saying, hey, it doesn't matter. I feel like I wasted all this time, all this pressure in getting it. So we went ahead and posted another poll asking people to take the poll. We currently have over 200 responses, and the overwhelming majority, about 85%, currently say no, it has no impact. I'm going to go ahead and try to get more people to take the poll, and I'll talk about the results a little bit later. For the first time ever, Google has the most obtrusive had the most annoying ad on their homepage, and this is important because Marissa Mayer, the ex-Googler who was one of the first employees at Google, recently in the past few weeks left to go to Yahoo, and when she left, a few weeks after that, Google has a special logo, a special ad on their homepage. It's an animated ad that actually pops up and talks about the tablet. It's called the Google Playground. It's really, really in your face and annoying. Typically, you won't see that from Google. And back years ago, Google did a blog post in 2005. Specifically, Marissa Mayer wrote this blog post that there will, and I quote, "There will be no banner ads on Google's homepage or web search result pages. There will not be crazy, flashy, graphical doo-doo ads flying and popping all over the Google site ever." She's no longer with the company, so I guess since she said that, they can do it. I'm not sure. But that goes exactly against their statement they wrote in 2005, and they specifically said ever, so it's pretty interesting. Google is fixing, or has fixed, I think they fixed it this morning, an AdSense bug, which basically we're sending out messages to people saying they're rejected ad requests. A lot of publishers were nervous about it, what's going on. It's a bug. You probably won't have to do anything to fix it, but some of you might, and if you do, you'll get a message about it. We have more information about that on August 29th at SEOroundtable.com. It was something we talked about actually a month and a half ago, and it's still lingering on, and they finally, I think, fixed it. IAC, the company that owns Ask.com, has acquired About.com from the New York Times for $300 million. That's big news. Apple has beat Samsung. This happened late Friday. Beat Samsung in court on patent lawsuit, basically across almost all cases, not everything, but almost everything. And the question is, will mobile search be affected? How will this impact the Samsung phones? How will Apple go against Google right now? There's some rumors that Apple and Google are having private talks about the Samsung thing, and maybe they could go ahead and work out the patent issues between the two. It will be interesting to see if Apple actually does sue Google for this, and how that will affect Google's phones and Android operating system, and obviously the mobile search platform. Supposedly, as of last night, actually Apple lost in China against Samsung. So that's another thing. The Google Doodle this morning is for the Montessori education. Basically, Maria, who was Mary or Maria, I forgot, I have to look it up, is 142 years old today. She's obviously no longer with us, but she came up with the education principles behind how Google's founders actually were educated. Larry and Sergey were actually educated behind this model, and Google went ahead and did a Google Doodle for that person's birthday who actually came up with that. There are over 20,000 schools that are currently using this model across the world for a lot of ages, and Google wanted to go ahead and commemorate her and her contributions to the world. Finally, yesterday was the actual 14th anniversary of the first ever Google Doodle, which was posted by the Google co-founders back in 1998 on August 30th, specifically for the Burning Man festival. So that's where the Google Doodle started about 14 years ago today, And that's pretty much it. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Again, today is Friday, August 31st, and I'll see you guys next week. Everyone have a great, great weekend. Bye.